Hey, this is Hellbound Boozhound here on behalf of the Headbanger's Journey at Hardtimes.ca with none other than Vinnie fucking Paul. How's it going?
Great. Happy to be here.
Yeah, awesome. So how's the tour been so far?
This is the first full Canadian tour that I've been a part of since I was in Pantera. We started way out in Vancouver, and we've hit a lot of territories along the way, so it's been very cool. We've been up here 2 weeks, and we've seen a ton of snow and a lot of cold, shitty weather.
Yeah.
And this is surprising. This is one of the only times I've ever been to Montreal when it wasn't covered in snow, so you guys must be getting a late winter or something. But yeah, it's been great. Canadian fans have treated us super well, and it's a very important market for us, and we're having a great time up here playing.
All right. Awesome. So, I mean, going back to the beginning, just the basics, how did Hellyeah start?
Man, it started around 2000, believe that or not, with Tom and Chad when they were touring together with Mudvayne and Nothing Face, talking about doing a band outside of their bands. And they never got an opportunity to make it happen. And then around sometime in around 2005, they both got a tour break at the same time. And they started putting the band together, and they brought Greg in, and they needed a drummer. And my name kept coming up, and they started calling me, and I didn't know any of them but Tom. You know, it was basically Tom calling me, and I'm like, man, sounds like a great idea, but I don't know if I'm ready to do this yet. You know, after the tragedy I'd been through with my brother, I still didn't know if I was ready to get back into playing music. I knew I would at some point, and I knew it would fall in my lap. And they were very persistent, and they kept calling, and this went on for about 2 weeks. And one night they caught me when I'd been drinking a bottle of red wine and listening to some good old Kiss. Call me Dr. Love! All that good shit. And I just said, man, that sounds like a damn good idea. Let's take a shot at it. I mean, I'll never know unless I try it, you know?
For sure.
So about a week later, they flew down to Texas, to my house, and we found out we had a lot of really good things in common, and we were really into the same kind of music, and, you know, just we had a great chemistry from the start. And the next day, we went down to the studio and wrote our very first song, and in about 2 weeks, we had 6 songs written and recorded, and Hellyeah was born. That's how it all started.
Great. I mean, from the beginning, did you have a preconceived notion of what the band would be like?
Well, from the very beginning, all of us knew that we wanted to do something that was different than what we had done in our previous bands, and really be able to not have any boundaries and step outside of what we'd done and do some southern rock, some bluesy sounding stuff, you know, almost country with a song like Alcohol and Ass. And there's still metal in there and rock and roll, but it was really diverse, you know. And when we got around to making this record, you know, we kind of had gotten that all out of our system. And we really wanted to go back to our roots and what we do best, and really take all the elements that we brought to our previous bands and put them in Hellyeah. And we ended up with a much more heavier, much more aggressive sound with the new record Band of Brothers. And I think it's, you know, it was more comfortable for us to make because it's familiar territory for us, and we really feel like this is the record people expected from Hellyeah from the beginning. You know?
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you'd say that over time it kind of changed, like your idea or how it turned out?
Yeah, I mean, at first it was a little bit more of a party band. You know, we wanted, when we started Hellyeah, the first thing that we discussed at the first time we ever got together was, look, man, if we do this, let's do this for the reason why we all got into playing music in the first place. Not for money, not for fame, not for any of that. Just do it because we love playing music. We wanted to be the biggest garage band in our fucking garage, you know, and that was the goal when we first started. And we still maintain that attitude, and that's the way we approach everything. You know, we really have become a band of brothers, so to speak, and we really enjoy being around each other, and it's a lot of fun being in this band.
What would you say are your influences musically for now? Were they the same as before, or have they changed?
I haven't changed, man. You know, I mean, I grew up on a healthy dose of Van Halen, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Motorhead, you know, all that good stuff, and that still to this day influences me. I hear the new bands, and you know, obviously technology's changed and all that, but you know, there's not been anything come along in my life, and I had an epiphany one day and woke up and said, wow, I'm going to add reggae to what I do, you know, anything like that.
So, like, in the beginning anyway, your father, he's actually a country record producer and a songwriter. And a lot of people I know in metal anyway, they're kind of opposed to country, they have a disliking for it. Would you say that your father's musical influence had any inspiration for you?
Well, he didn't understand what we were doing, you know, and the way I always used to equate it to him is like, man, you know, remember when you were a kid and you were listening to Elvis and all that, and you went home and your parents went, what is that garbage you're listening to? You know, it's the same kind of thing. It's something that, you know, metal and country don't really mix. Obviously, if you listen to Rebel Meets Rebel, the record me and Don made with David Allan Coe, it's about as close as you could ever get to it, which is really, I think, a very cool record. But I understand that, a lot of different kind of musics, people don't like them to mix with their kind of music. If you're a metalhead, generally you're a metalhead, diehard metalhead for life. You don't want to hear nothing else. I'm a metalhead too, but after playing it and blowing my ears out every night of my whole life, when I get in my bus, I might want to hear something a little different, Believe it or not, man, I'm a big fan of girl singers, man.
Oh, yeah.
I love Christina Aguilera. I think she's awesome. I love the Wilson sisters. The Hart girls are great. What's her name? Lizzie from Hellstorm. Incredible singer. Those kind of things I like. And I like just about every kind of music except hip-hop. I just think hip-hop is disgusting. It's just a drum machine and somebody writing down a bunch of words and going, yo, 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 to me.
Yeah.
So I try to stray away from that, But anything else I could take a listen to, but I am a metalhead at heart.
All right. And I mean, just speaking about your musical background, if you will, I read somewhere that you used to play the tuba, right?
I didn't never play it, but I started on it.
You started? Okay, how did that start off? Why the tuba?
Man, I went to sign up for a high school band in 7th grade, and they ended up sending me home with a tuba, man. They picked me to be the tuba player, man, and I walked in the front door of the house. My dad was a country and western musician at the time, and he would be out working till 2 in the morning and get in late and, want to sleep in. And I was in the front room blowing on this thing, making all kinds of horrendous noises coming out of it. And he comes running around the corner in his underwear, and he goes, "Son, what in the hell are you doing?" I said, "Dad, I'm going to be a tuba player. I'm going to be a tuba player." And he goes, "Fucking A, no you're not. I'm taking you right back up there and putting you on the drums. You'll never make a penny playing that fucking instrument. Let's go now." And he put his clothes on and took me up there, and I cried my eyes out all the way up to the school. And the next day I started playing drums. I was like, "God, man, you did me a hell of a favor." And my dad changed the course of heavy metal by doing that. So thank you, Jerry Abbott.
Thank you. All right, so, you have a lot of other things going on other than Hellyeah. You have some strip joints going on. You got your own bus company. Just to go over that, what kind of bus company is this? Tour bus company?
It's not really, I wouldn't call it a company. It's 2 buses. I mainly bought them for my personal use for me and Hellyeah. And I don't like renting things. I think renting things is just like a waste of money. You can go down and rent a TV set or you can buy one. And guess what? By the time you've paid rent on it for 2 years, you could have bought the damn thing and owned it. See what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about, buses and stuff like that. But I do rent them out to other bands from time to time, so that's where the bus company term comes in. The strip bars are something I got into because I figured I spent enough money on them. The only way I'm ever going to get it back is to own my own. I started off with the Clubhouse in Dallas, Texas. It's the greatest adult entertainment establishment on the face of the earth. I would highly recommend you come and see us anytime you're in Dallas, Texas. Every rock and roller that in this world's been through there. Every famous hockey player, including Wayne Gretzky's been there. It is a happening place, and we provide a party. Most strip bars provide a service. We provide a party. Bring your own booze, save you a lot of money. And then I got into a string of Latino strip bars called Chicas Bonitas. I own one in Las Vegas, one in Dallas, one in Austin, and we're working on putting one in Tucson and Phoenix right now, and basically cater to the people that built the world, Latino community, man. And they love it, man. They come in, and we play soccer, and we're the #1 Corona seller in Vegas, and they see all my Pantera memorabilia, and obviously Pantera means panther in Spanish, and so there's always been a connection there, and it's just great. It's just fun.
Do you play any Pantera at your strip joints?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I'd be a fool if I didn't. I play tons of Pantera, Hellyeah, Damage Plan, Rebel Meets Rebel, all that stuff.
Awesome, great. So, other than that, I also heard that you have an annual Halloween bash, right? Is that at one of your strip joints?
Yeah, at the Clubhouse. It used to be at my house.
Oh, cool.
And it was the ultimate Halloween party, because if you don't have a costume, you don't get in. And people really go to another level when they come to my Halloween costume contest, because it's just great. I always have a Halloween band. This year I had a Def Leppard tribute band. Previous years had Kiss, Guns N' Roses, a bunch of different ones like that. So always a good band, and nothing like having a bunch of half-naked girls with blood running out of their mouths. And, hell, they're really naked anyways. And Halloween makeup on, and Guns N' Roses up on the main stage. You catch a buzz, and you just think you're in La La Land, man. It's awesome.
Right on. Another one of the things that you do, you'll have your own record label.
Yeah.
And one of the bands that you signed, if not, I think the only one that's released anything other than Rebel Meets Rebel is Seventh Void, which is comprised of the two past members of Typo Negative. So why did you decide to sign them out of all the other bands that are out there?
Well, let me give you a little history on the record label. First of all, I started it because, about 8 months after what had happened to my brother, I started listening to the Rebel Meets Rebel thing that we put together, and I remembered how important it was to him for people to hear it. He really was excited about it. It was really the first time a true heavy metal outlaw band made a record with a true country outlaw artist. Metallica and somebody else had dabbled in one song and stuff like that, but we made a whole record. We made this over a period of like a year and a half. Every time David would travel through Texas and we just happened to be off, he'd come down to Don's place and stay, and we'd write and record 2 or 3 songs until we had enough for a record. And so the first place I sent it to was the label that we were previously on with Pantera, which was Elektra Records. And they said, well, we don't know what to do with this. It's who do we sell this to? Do we sell this to country people? Do we sell it to heavy metal? What do we do? And I got turned down by about 15 labels, and I was just like, you know what? I know what to fucking do with it. I'm going to start my own goddamn record company and get on my feet again and find out what this is all about, So I started the record company, put it out, did really well. We sold about 150,000 units of it, and that's pretty incredible for something without any kind of major label backing. Of course, my brother being a part of it was huge, and and the music, to me, it stands on its own 2 feet. I think it's great, man. It's really different. And then I put his book out through the label, and then I put a Christmas record out for my dad, Lisa Lane, which is one of the best Christmas records you'll ever hear. And then, Johnny and Kenny, really good friends of mine. My favorite tour I ever did with Pantera was 1994. We had Typo Negative out with us, and we'd always been great friends, and they're still great friends of mine. I love you guys. I miss you guys. I hope to see you soon. But they came on, wanted me to mix their record that they just completed with this band, Seventh Void, and they brought it down, and this was my first getting back into music, getting behind the control board and doing stuff, and I love the fucking music, man, and I think we really nailed the mix and everything, and they didn't have a label, and so I kept telling them, man, you guys need to shop that, you get a hell of a deal with a label, and they're like, we want to put it out on your label, man. I said, I don't know, man, I think you ought to go to a major label. They're like, no, we don't want to mess with them, we want to be on your label. So I signed the label, and we put it out, and it's done pretty well. I wish it would have done better. I think it's a really kind of overlooked record. I think if you've never heard Seventh Void, check it out. It's a great record, and it has that typo sludge and just deep, dark sound to it, but maybe with a little bit of like a Soundgarden edge to it. It's definitely unique and different. So if you get a chance, check that out. And to that point, then I've been busy with Hellyeah, and so. But I've got a stack of demo tapes this tall, and if I ever get around to it, me and Brad Dog, that's my partner in the business, we'll start going through them, and if we find something really different, special, and unique, I'd like to put another band out on it.
Awesome. Any bands you're thinking of in particular?
Nope, not yet.
No, not yet.
You got to be completely different or better than everybody else. That's all there is to it.
There you go. What's next for Vinnie Paul and Hellyeah?
Next for Vinnie Paul and Hellyeah. Well, to complete this Canadian run, which has been nearly 2 weeks, has been fucking awesome, by the way. I want to thank all the people in Canada, all the way from Western Canada all the way up to Quebec City will be our last stop. And then back to the United States for a week on our own, and then we hook up with the mighty Lamb of God all the way till the end of the year. And then a lot of big things are happening for us next year. We're going to be going to Europe, South America, Australia, and then hopefully another run back to Canada to really solidify Hellyeah out here.
Awesome. Well, I just have a bunch of random Q&A questions, so first thing that comes out of your mind, say it. All right, first question, tits or ass?
Pussy.
Pussy. Oh, there you go. Not even part of the question, but that works. All right, and you had a cookbook that came out.
No, it's not out yet.
Oh, it's not out yet. Is it coming out soon?
It's coming out soon. I've got about 90 recipes, and I think it needs at least 100, maybe 101 to be proof. A little cliche right there. It's called Drumming Up an Appetite with Vinnie Paul. How clever is that? And I'm sitting behind the drum set, and I'm holding a turkey leg in one hand, another turkey leg in this hand. What are those known as? Drumsticks. It's all up here. You'll love my cookbook. If you don't know how to cook, don't want to cook, you will immediately become a cook, a chef, right there on the spot.
Yeah, Vinnie Paul guiding you to cooking, man.
That's right. Drumming Up an Appetite with Vinnie Paul. Don't miss it. Coming to a store near you.
Awesome. So, what would you say is your favorite dish, anyway?
I like these stuffed jalapenos. They're real easy to make. They're amazing. You take a jalapeno, slice it right in half. Take the seeds out because they get too hot for most people. If you like it really hot, leave the seeds in. Take some cream cheese, slide it in there. put some bacon bits on top of that, some cheddar cheese on top, and sprinkle it with a little fajita seasoning, put it on the grill. God damn, people drool over that shit everywhere we go.
Yeah, sounds fucking great. I can only imagine. Yeah. All right, best show you've ever played?
That's hard because they've all been great. Now, you know, they say you're only as good as your last show, and I felt like last night's show was really good in Toronto. Probably a show that I'll never forget was playing in Moscow in Russia in 1992 with Metallica and AC/DC, and we played to nearly 1 million people, which is double Woodstock, so you don't know what big is until you've seen that.
Yeah.
And they treated us like Led Zeppelin. I guarantee you wasn't a person in that crowd that knew a Pantera song, and they loved us, man, and they were awesome, so that was really special.
Yeah, oh man, I've seen videos, and that seemed fucking wild. I can only imagine.
It was awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So any bands you want to tour with in the future?
Tour with in the future? Well, we just finished touring with Volbeat, and they were fucking awesome. We'd love to tour with Volbeat in Europe. And, you know, just anybody that has a really nice, rowdy crowd and really knows how to treat their bands that are out with them. You know, that we're really big fans of taking care of the bands that are out with us. You know, Dance Lori Lance and Holy Grail. They've been awesome, great bands to have out. You'll really enjoy them tonight. If you're here, and if you're not, you'll see it on videotape afterwards. So yeah, you know, but the Volbeat thing was really cool. You know, I mean, all the guys with Metallica have been friends of mine forever. I'd love to tour with them. You know, there's a chance we might be doing Ozfest over in Japan, and Ozzy's a good friend of mine. So those kind of things I like to look forward to. Yeah.
Cool. Right on. Best music to have a chick strip to?
9 Inch Nails.
9 Inch
Fuck
Nails?
You Like
Yeah.
an Animal. It's so sexy. It's actually closer, but you know, that song works every time.
Nice, nice. Any books you'd recommend?
Books I'd recommend, let's see, there's several good ones out. Obviously, Peter Criss just put out a new book, Ace Frehley. I think the Zach Wild book is a must-have. It's very good, very entertaining.
Nice. And most importantly, favorite type of beer or hard liquor?
Don't drink beer. If I have to
nice.
drink beer, it's Coors Light. Now, I drink vodka, man. I'm a big-time vodka drinker. I drink Sky Vodka. It's in the blue bottle. It's spelled with 2 Ks, SKKY. I should be a spokesperson for them. They ought to be paying me millions of dollars to tell you this. As a matter of fact, here we go. You're getting your plug for free. Now, this here, right here, most vodkas come from Eastern Europe or Russia. This comes straight from the good old United States of America. It was invented by an American doctor that was tired of having hangovers. And it was the first vodka that was ever filtered 4 times. I can drink that whole bottle, and I will tonight before it's over. And I'll wake up tomorrow and feel just as good as I do right now, like $100. This is the bomb. Know it, love it, learn it. That beer, see, when I look at that beer, beer's about that big, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, that's probably about 15 shots there I can drink of that instead of one damn beer.
Yeah.
See, so it saves you a little room, and you can party a little harder, and you learn it from a pro, Vinnie Paul. Ask a player.
There you go. So yeah, if 2 bands fucked and Hellyeah was a child, who would the parents be?
I'm gonna have to say Leonard Skinner and Slayer, man. That's what you get when you get Hellyeah, you know. Dose of metal with a little southern flavor in your mouth.
Any last words?
Man, I want to thank all the people for their continued support and love of my brother and really helping make his legend and larger than life, man. He loved you guys and loved entertaining you, and I know you miss him. We all miss him, and he's with us everywhere we go. And just want to thank you guys for supporting me and giving me the strength to carry on and keep doing what I love doing. Keep rocking. We'll see you soon, Canada.